What's up, people? Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast for another match reaction. The Arsenal have defeated Newcastle 4-1 at home in the perfect reaction, the perfect bounce back from Champions League disappointment on Wednesday, I believe. Now, to start out with, Gorginho, man of the match. And I think there's an interesting tactic from Mikel that's given him the freedom, combined with the fact that I don't think Newcastle were expecting Jorginho to be in there. So I think it was a combination of we surprised Eddie Howe with the tactics a bit. I feel like all week they were probably working on keeping Odegaard off the ball, keeping Declan Rice off of the ball, pressing them the way Porto did and making it difficult for them to progress. But they stayed high for a lot of the time when we were in possession, and Jorginho was the one in between the lines who was progressing the ball. And in that first half, in that first 20 minutes, they didn't press him. They didn't press him tight enough. They didn't. They gave him a lot of space, gave him time to pick and choose, and so he was able to spray it through the lines. He was able to pass it around the corners. It looked like we were letting them crowd together in the middle of the pitch, and we were passing around them like we should have done on Wednesday. But the fact that Jorginho had so much space gave him time to pick the riskier passes. And I think we definitely came out with a lot more energy. I figured we would, being at home. So I think that aided in Jorginho's performance. I thought his first 5 minutes or so were really sloppy. Had a couple of touches that I wasn't happy with, but from then on, he was fantastic. Dictated the game, had the armband at one point. Definitely think that he was safe in possession, was definitely looking to direct traffic and make sure that we were able to progress the ball well, which I thought we did. Now, it definitely feels good. A little bit of revenge for, things that don't need to be spoken about last time we played these guys. And so it felt like, I thought there was going to be more of that from Newcastle, more of the, black arts, as they call it, the dark arts, you might say, diving and kicking our team and stuff like that. But I think it's very important for Arsenal to score early goals. The early goal kind of took that out of them. The two early goals kind of took that out of their play. They, needed to switch it up, be a little bit more progressive. But the way we pressed, once again, our press is very, very intense, very, very organized, well drilled. And I thought that we were able to keep Guimeres out of the game very, very well, at least for the first 80 minutes or so, or at least, to where we were not letting them get out at all. And that's what our press does. And I thought we executed it fantastically today. There was a moment where you could see that Havertz and Odegaard closed the gap off, and they passed the ball right to Havertz, and he has a good touch for the assist to Saka, who rips it home. Fantastic finish. You'll love to see that from Bukayo Saka. I thought he had a very good game attacking his man. They let him, they didn't double team him. Brave. Very brave not to double team Saka, and he punished them. They didn't double team Martinelli, who it was good to see going at his man as well. Definitely enjoy that when he's running at people. I think he's at his best. And I thought that while he didn't have his best game today, I thought in those moments he was very good. I think that Martin Odegaard had a very interesting display as well. Not at his best, some misplaced passes. Definitely directed the press well. Of course, he always does. Directed the traffic well up top, organized the press, made sure that when he moved forward to press the ball, somebody was picking up Guimeres. That's usually our main focus as far as the target man of our press, especially when Guimeres had the ball. They give him no space, which was perfect, and it kind of bamboozled Newcastle. And on the couple of attempts that they brought Gordon back or one of their farther forward players deeper trying to progress the ball. It was good to see Willie and Gabriel following them up and keeping the extra man in the press. And so I thought our defensive press was very, very good today. And it usually is. And it's good to see that consistency. And it definitely provided us with some chances today. Newcastle were not great in possession, in progression, even though obviously we had a lot to do with that, with our pressure. But still, they were not at their best, and we were able to capitalize. Now, I want to discuss Kai Havertz because we always have to. I've been very critical this week because he was awful against Porto. Very critical of Mikel for continuing to stick with him, even though I know he's going to. I thought today it was kind of the same from Havertz. I thought that, again, he gets into good spaces. He understands how we press the ball. He understands where he needs to be to cut off passing lanes. I think he works, defensively, even from that center forward position. And so in those things, I thought he did very good. It's, as a forward, done his job. Good that he got there on the end of the goal to get the tap in. Some of his first touches are just absolutely atrocious. Again today, some of his decision making in the passing was absolutely atrocious. But other than that, I actually thought he was all right. Maybe a 6.5, 7, maybe that's a little generous. Especially when he's the guy that is supposed to be, up in level and getting us over the line. But got to hold your hands up today. He's done his job. He worked for the team. Got the goal. I mean, you can't really ask much more from him. Going forward, obviously, we want to see him continue to get better and better and better and better. But not much to say there. Decent enough as far as his standard is concerned. Thought Ben White had a good game. Getting into that midfield sometimes. I like it when he tries to turn. He looks a little bit bamboozled sometimes when he has the space to turn, but he does it well. Has some good touches, and you like to see that. Both he and Kivior were getting down the wings on the overlaps. And I think once we realized that Newcastle were not going to double team our wingers, that support was important, and it helped us to form triangles. It's interesting to see that there were triangles on the left this time because of Declan Rice playing in that left 8 role. Now, it's very interesting that Gorginho started with Rice and Odegaard in the middle, but it wasn't a double pivot. It was exactly what we've been doing all season, with Gorginho playing the Rice role and Rice playing the Havertz role, as I guess we have to call it since he's there so much. But I think that, yes, Declan Rice was good. Declan Rice is always good. But it's not his best spot. I like that he's farther. It's so interesting to me because he plays it better, I think, than Kai Havertz does, but not as good as he plays the 6. And so, yes, he was able to make those triangles with Kivior and Martinelli that you don't really see a lot with Havertz, because Havertz likes to get farther forward, be the guy on the end. And so it was interesting to see that we had triangles on the left side and the right-hand side. Now, I'm hesitant to say that we should continue to do this. I think it kind of bamboozled Newcastle and we got 2 early goals. And so it looks effective. It definitely was effective today. I was worried about it when we first saw it, especially because of Jorginho's lack of speed and pace in the transition. And so I figured if we ever got turned today and we're running towards our own goal, if Newcastle were better on the counter today, better in their possession, I felt like they could have hurt us. So I'm still hesitant to say we should continue to play this way with Rice farther forward. Now, as far as a double pivot, with Odegaard more in a 10 role, more central, where he's roaming to the left hand and the right hand side, okay, that's a little bit different. That's a little bit of a different situation, and I don't mind that. But despite saying that, I thought Gorginho had a great game. I thought he looked good. I thought Rice looked good. I thought that Odegaard didn't have his best performance. Saka looked fantastic. Martinelli looked okay. Havertz, Big Willie Magalhaes looked good back there. And Kivior, first goal of the season. Near post runs, score goals. Congratulations, sir. Well done. But yeah, I think that we handled the moment, the need to respond. We handled, whatever Newcastle had to throw at us today, which wasn't much, to be honest. And I thought that all in all, perfect day. I think Arteta has gotten it right today, gotten the tactics spot on. Wasn't really excited to see how we definitely dropped off and definitely weren't the same, I guess is the way to put it. When all of the subs got on, it was... I guess they had a little bit more control of the game. It's interesting to say, though, because the game changed completely. Guimeres went off, all of ours, and then all of our guys went off. And so the game was kind of lacked a structure for a while there at the end of it. And so it was kind of a little bit of a free-for-all. And I think Emmy Smith-Rowe should score. And as much as I like him, it's these kinds of opportunities where if you're only going to get the 10 minutes when we're up 4-0, you have to come in and prove that you deserve to be in it from the start. You have to come in and be better. He definitely looked like he was trying, definitely looked like he had that on his mind and knew that, these are it might be some of his last chances in an Arsenal shirt. And I just thought that, he should have finished. You could just smash it instead of trying to pass it into the goal. Had a couple of wayward touches. Unfortunately, I like him, but I get why Arteta is not, doesn't play him very much. Not his biggest fan. Yeah, I liked Reese's hustle. I liked, Eddie got some minutes, but again, I felt like these guys could have done a little bit more to kind of, lay a claim, stake a claim, lay claim to their spot, I guess what I'm trying to say. But I didn't really feel it from them, Could have had another one, and then, of course, giving up the goal is kind of sour for sure. And that's, Smith-Rowe didn't track your man, and your man scored. That's why I feel, it feels unfortunate. It's the same way I feel about Mikel Arteta. I'm a big fan, and I think he has potential to get us there. I think he has the potential. I think he can get us over the line. But I think there are huge obstacles in his way, and those obstacles are right here, right now, in his face. As much as I would like to see him stay, I just not convinced that he's going to get us over the line this season. And unfortunately, the standards are that high. They need to be that high. And so I feel like, yeah, I think he can figure it out. I think he can figure out the pressure thing I've been going on about on the pods and in the match reaction after Porto. I want him to. I really do. But I have my doubts. But today, good day. Near perfect day. Definitely got the win we needed. Padded some goal difference. That's always good to see as well. Stayed within touching distance of the two at the top. So, yeah. Today we're happy. It's looking good. And we look forward to next week. I believe it's Sheffield United. So if you're as excited as I am, let's go ahead and get the likes up on the video for that 4-1 Arsenal victory. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Of course, we are on our way to 200 subscribers. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. If you're enjoying it, get that little notification bell on so you know when all these match reactions are coming. And, of course, our regularly scheduled podcast on Mondays and Thursdays. I do appreciate you being here. And, of course, you will see me next time.